Consuming a variety of fresh vegetables can provide a wealth of benefits. Even your doctor would agree that they are an integral part of a healthy diet. A diet rich in vegetables can lower blood pressure, prevent some types of cancer, reduce the risk of heart disease and stroke, and even have a positive effect on blood sugar levels. But if you have kidney problems or are at risk for them, then it's important to be cautious about the types of vegetables you eat. While, generally, veggies are safe and nutritious, there are some of them that should be avoided or limited for the sake of your kidney health. Most vegetables contain high amounts of potassium, sodium, phosphorus, and oxalates, which is strictly forbidden in a kidney-friendly diet. These minerals can build up in your body, like toxic waste, and can cause damage to your already weakened kidneys. But don't get discouraged because we've got you covered. In this video, we will share with you the top 5 vegetables that you should avoid if you want to maintain healthy kidney function. So, without turning it into a medical lecture, let's get started and find out what these vegetables are. Potatoes. The first kidney-killing vegetable that we want to talk about is something that you probably eat every day, and that is potatoes. Whether it's a baked potato, mashed potatoes, or salty French fries, this starchy root vegetable is a staple in many diets. While potatoes are a good source of nutrients, they can also be detrimental to your kidney health. As we said earlier, high levels of potassium can be dangerous for those with kidney problems, and potatoes, including sweet potatoes, are loaded with it. A medium-sized baked potato contains 610 milligrams of potassium, whereas an average-sized baked sweet potato contains 542 milligrams, which I'm sure you'll agree is a lot. So, in order to keep your potassium levels in check, it's best to limit your intake of potatoes and sweet potatoes. You can, however, still enjoy these tasty vegetables by using the leaching method. In fact, some research suggests that boiling potatoes can greatly decrease their potassium content, especially when using cold water. Also, soaking potatoes in water for 5 to 10 minutes can reduce the potassium by up to 20%, which is known as the double cook method. Although this doesn't completely eliminate the potassium, it can somehow lessen the risk. So, if you love potatoes and sweet potatoes, just remember to practice portion control and use the leaching method to reduce their potassium levels. Leafy green vegetables. While we are not saying that you should avoid, or completely limit, all leafy green vegetables, there are certain types that you should be cautious of. These include Swiss chard, spinach, and beet greens. These green leafy vegetables are loaded with nutrients and minerals, which is why they are often considered a superfood. They can provide a variety of health benefits for the average person, but for those with kidney problems, they can be pretty poisonous. This is because they contain high levels of potassium that can increase the chance of developing kidney stones, which can further damage your kidneys. It doesn't matter if you eat these vegetables raw or cooked, their potassium content remains the same. Hence, it's crucial to moderate your intake of these leafy greens and limit them in your diet. For instance, a cup of raw Swiss chard contains 136 milligrams of potassium, and when cooked or boiled, it shrinks in size, which means you may end up consuming more potassium than intended. The same goes for spinach and beet greens. Their high levels of potassium can be problematic for those with kidney problems. So, if you don't want to make your life more difficult, it's best to avoid these vegetables or limit their intake. Instead, you can opt for other kidney-friendly greens like kale, cabbage, lettuce, and collard greens. These are low in potassium and can provide health benefits similar to those mentioned earlier. Tomatoes. When it comes to managing kidney health, tomatoes are another vegetable that should be avoided or limited in a renal diet. While they may seem like a nutritive and delicious addition to meals, they actually contain high levels of potassium and can impact the functioning of your kidneys. Tomatoes are commonly used in sauces, soups, and salads, so basically, they are hard to avoid in most meals and, in return, can cause a lot of trouble for those with kidney issues. A single cup of tomato sauce contains 728 milligrams of potassium, which is considered quite high and can significantly increase your daily potassium intake. This can lead to a buildup of potassium in your body and increase the risk of kidney stones or other complications. Plus, this red and juicy vegetable is also rich in oxalates, which can further worsen the condition of those with kidney problems. However, this doesn't mean you have to sacrifice the taste of your meals. There are plenty of alternative options that can provide a similar flavor profile and are low in potassium. For example, roasted red peppers can be used as a substitute for tomato sauce. It provides a rich and smoky taste without the high levels of potassium. Other options include using citric juices like lemon or lime to add tanginess to dishes instead of using tomatoes. This way, you can still enjoy your meals without worrying about the negative impact on your kidneys. So, remember to keep an eye on your tomato intake and explore other options to maintain a healthy renal diet. Processed vegetable products. The number 4th vegetable that we want to bring your attention to is processed vegetable products. These include items like vegetable chips, canned soups and sauces, and frozen meals that have vegetables in them. While these may seem like an easy way to add more veggies to your diet, they often contain high levels of sodium, which can be harmful to those with kidney problems. Packaged food items are usually loaded with preservatives and additives to enhance the flavor, texture, and shelf life of the product. And this is also true for processed vegetable products. In order to make these products taste good and last longer, manufacturers often add high amounts of sodium, which can be detrimental to your kidney health. Sodium in excess can lead to high blood pressure and damage your kidneys over time. This is because your kidneys are responsible for filtering out excess sodium from your body, and when there's too much of it, they have to work harder. As a result, this can cause strain on your kidneys and lead to further damage. Some processed vegetable products also contain added sugars, which can contribute to weight gain and increased blood sugar levels, both of which are risk factors for kidney disease. In order to keep your kidneys as healthy as possible, it's best to pick lower sodium options or one labeled as no salt added. You can also make your own vegetable-based meals at home using fresh or frozen produce to have more control over the amount of sodium in your diet. Beans. Now, the 5th vegetable, which is actually a legume, we want to talk about is beans. They are technically a subgroup of vegetables called legumes, but they also contain a significant amount of protein, which sets them apart from typical vegetables. But no matter how they are perceived, they are beneficial to a balanced diet. Beans are nutrient-dense with high fiber and starch contents, which make them a great source of plant-based protein. They are often classified as a starchy vegetable, along with potatoes and squash. Some studies have suggested that beans and legumes are a good source of protein for those with chronic kidney disease. However, due to their high levels of phosphorus and potassium, it is important to limit your intake of beans in order to maintain a healthy renal diet. For example, 1 cup of cooked pinto beans contains 251 milligrams of phosphorus and 746 milligrams of potassium. These levels may vary depending on the type of beans, but it's important to keep an eye on your portion sizes and limit your intake accordingly. Beans like kidney beans, black beans, and navy beans are also high in potassium and phosphorus, so it's best to consume them in moderation. To add some variety to your diet, you can try incorporating other types of legumes, such as lentils or chickpeas, which have lower levels of these minerals. By keeping your bean intake in check, you can still reap the benefits of plant-based protein and fiber while maintaining a kidney-friendly diet. Avoiding certain vegetables or limiting their intake may seem like a challenge, but it's necessary for maintaining good kidney health. By being mindful of the veggies you consume, you can prevent any further damage to your kidneys and keep them functioning at their best. Also, it's important to remember that every person's dietary needs may vary, especially when dealing with kidney issues, so we strongly recommend that before making any significant changes to your diet, consult with your healthcare provider because they are in the best position to advise you on a diet that suits your specific needs and restrictions. Also, one important thing that I want to mention is that the information provided in this video is collected from various sources like healthline.com and medicalnewstoday.com, so for more in-depth information on kidney-friendly diets, please refer to these sources. We really hope that this video has been informative and helpful to you in understanding the impact of vegetables on kidney health. If you find it useful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more such amazing content.